All right, well, today the Supreme Court is hearing arguments in a case that could determine how race is considered in congressional maps. Plaintiffs say the Louisiana congressional map violates the Voting Rights Act by improperly considering race to create a second majority black district. Louisiana officials say that precedent requires them to consider race when drawing congressional districts. Let's bring back our senior Washington correspondent, Devin Dwyer. Devin, I remember you covering this when the conversation first started. So let's just talk to how far this has come and what's at stake now at this point.
Yeah, Louisiana, Kira, has almost perpetually been in the court system over its election maps, and they were back again today. In fact, the attorney for Louisiana said, "We don't want to be here anymore. Let's finish this up." This is an interesting case about Louisiana's 6 congressional districts. They had 4 Republican seats, 2 Democratic seats. The 2 Democratic seats are majority black voters, and the question on the table is whether when the state lawmakers in Louisiana drew that 6th district, majority black district, they improperly relied too much on race when drawing the boundaries. Now, those state lawmakers, Republicans, they were in the Supreme Court today saying, look, leave our map alone. We have 2 majority black districts, in fact, 2 Democratic districts. That's fine with us. They want to move forward. But a group of non-black voters, Kira, is asking the Supreme Court to strike down that map, send them back to the drawing board, saying it violates the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution. But on the other side of the scale is the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which says, of course, that all election maps have to give minority voters an equal opportunity to elect candidates of their choice. And so that was what was being weighed today. But a really extraordinary posture for this case because the state's Republican leaders want to keep it as it is.
All right, so what stood out to you so far as what will, the justices actually need to consider?
It was remarkably divided. I have to say, Kira, the court didn't have a clear consensus on how they will come out on this. But one fine point here is on the stakes in all of this. I know we just cleared the last election, but we're already looking ahead to 2026, the battle for the control of Congress. As you know, Republicans hold a very thin majority in the Congress right now. So every single seat will matter. And if Louisiana has to redraw their map because race was improperly used in drawing it, that could compromise one of those 2 Democratic seats, perhaps give Republicans a leg up. Maybe they've got to keep those 2 districts, would help Democrats. So politically, this is a very significant case headed into the midterms. Kira.
All right. Devin Dwyer, appreciate you. Thank you.